Good day and welcome to the channel. My name is Caroline and I'm excited that you are here. Today we're going to be talking about what I did to enable my baby eat after 6 months of exclusive breastfeeding. We all know the struggle with having our babies eat when they have sucked for a period of 6 months. We understand how difficult it is for us as mothers. It can be frustrating, it can be draining, and if you're not a patient person, you can completely lose it. So I'm going to be sharing with you the things I did to enable my baby eat. I'm going to tell you from the beginning, it wasn't easy. It was not easy at all. Having my baby eat was quite a tussle, and it wasn't easy at all. So like I said, it wasn't easy. We used to fight. My baby did not want anything to do with food. We used to literally fight. She didn't want to eat anything aside breast milk. Whatever I brought, she would kick the plate, she would drag, it was a whole lot. I'm telling you. Whenever we started eating, everybody in the neighborhood would definitely know, yes, they want to eat. Because I would be literally begging, please, oh, Hanniel, eat, oh. Hanniel, please eat. Hanniel, please. You know how crazy it is for you as a mother to just sit and watch and count the hours and then watch and realize your baby is not eating. So you're eating, but your baby is not eating. Whatever you bring, she throws it away. She fights, she cries, she screams. She felt like you were giving her poison or something very harmful. So she wasn't having it at all. And I knew it wasn't right for me to just let her be like that. And I knew that I needed her to begin to eat food so that I could introduce other nutrients to her, other meals, aside just breast milk. So I really wanted her to eat. So I'm going to tell you the things I did. It wasn't easy, but I'm going to tell you. The first thing is that you must have patience. You must have patience. As a mother, and your baby is getting to 6 months, be ready for drama. I know that there are some children that eat easily, but some children do not eat as easy as the others do. So, first of all, you must be patient. And if you know that you don't have much patience, I encourage you to pray to God and ask God to give you patience to be able to care for your child. So, that's the first one. The second one, another important thing for you to do is to do your research. Do your research and know which meals to introduce to your baby. If you don't research properly, you might not know how to combine the food. You might not know how to introduce fruits. You might not know which food is good for your baby and which isn't. It was during my research I realized that honey is not good for any baby below 6 months. So a lot of us don't know this, but honey is not good at all until they get to 1 year. From 1 year upwards, it's safe to give your baby honey. So that is it. So do your research and get all the facts that you need on the nutrients and how to combine them. Okay, that's number 2. So we've talked about patience and we've talked about doing your research to know what nutrients to give. Another thing is when you begin to introduce the meal, don't remove breast milk completely. When you're introducing the meal, ensure that you do it gradually. You give breast milk and then you introduce maybe like cereal, and you don't completely take out the breast milk, because if you take out the breast milk completely, you are going to be creating a problem. That is why we are encouraged to do complementary feeding, where you combine the other meals with breast milk. You don't completely take out breast milk because the children still need breast milk. WHO actually encourages us to breastfeed our baby until they are about 2 years. So as God gives you the strength and the grace, you are encouraged to combine this and not completely stop the breast milk at once. Okay, so that's another thing. Another thing is that what I did, I'm going to tell you what I did. Because I'll tell you, when I was feeding my baby, I'll just carry her and hold her tight and begin to put the food in her mouth, because if I let her be, she will not want to eat it. So I felt, okay, the pattern of feeding a baby is to hold the baby in your hand and then be putting the pap or cereal or whatever it is you're giving to the baby. So I would do that, and my baby would not take it at all. She would cry and scream and push and kick. It was a whole lot. So what I did was I kept on practicing my patience. I kept on talking to her, and I'd be like, Hanniel, please eat. Honey, you need to eat. Please eat. So I kept on talking to her to get her to eat. But this is a baby of 6 months. I'm sure she wasn't even understanding what I was saying, and was just feeling like I was harming her and all that. So she was kicking and fighting and all that. Then what broke the camel's back was, I think 2 days to my birthday, 2 days to my birthday, I was feeding her. I was feeding this girl, and then Hanniel choked on the food. And she choked on the food, and oh my God, it was crazy. So I tried to calm her down. And then she threw up everything. And in that moment, I literally lost it. And I was like, what kind of stress is this? That's what motherhood day. So they be telling me, nobody tell me this thing. No. I'm speaking pidgin for emphasis. I was like, okay, pregnancy had its own stress and struggle, and we were pushing it. Then labor was so painful. And then after labor, caring for the child, my husband was not around. My husband was in Ghana, and I was alone. Okay, I had my mom, but I still wanted to be in charge. I'm telling you. So I was sleep deprived. I wasn't sleeping properly. And then at some point, I started having postpartum depression. Oh, it was a whole lot. So having to fight all this, and then here we are again fighting for feeding. Like, I lost it, and I was overwhelmed. So in that moment, I just went outside to cry my normal cry, the way I used to cry by the staircase. And then I prayed to God. I said, Father, I need you to teach me how to feed this child. Father, I want you to show me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me what it is I need to do to feed this baby. I need her to eat. I'm not comfortable that she's not eating. So I prayed that prayer to God, and just like magic, I'm telling you, a day after my birthday, okay, I made this prayer 2 days before my birthday, and a day after my birthday, she started eating. My daughter started eating. It was like magic. Hanniel, that was fighting and kicking back and doing all sorts, started accepting food. It was a testimony. It was, in fact, I actually testified of this in a motherhood group I pray with. So that's what happened. So the Holy Spirit taught me how to feed my child. And he didn't come down, he didn't descend. He spoke to me. I spoke to a friend, and she gave me tips on what to do. I actually also read more, and I got more tips on. I started watching videos on YouTube for mothers, and how they got past how they got their baby to eat after exclusive breastfeeding. I was intentional about it. The Holy Spirit started pointing me to the right videos to watch, the right people, the right information. I spoke to my friend Monica, and then she told me what to do. So what were the things that I did? Number one was I stopped holding her. Before I would hold her in my arms and then be giving her the food, one spoon and another spoon and another. So what I did was I stopped holding her. I would just let Hanniel walk. So I give her one spoon and then I leave her alone. I wasn't holding her down. I wasn't holding her tightly and all that. I'll give her one spoon and just let her move and feel free. And the babe started eating. Another thing I did was, as I'm using one spoon to feed her, I'll give her one spoon. So she had her spoon, I had mine, and then we were just playing like that. And then another thing I did was I started playing educational videos on her tablet, a tablet her dad bought for her. So I started playing educational videos, and it was I think she was excited to watch those videos, so she wasn't focusing much on the food, and we were getting the job done. Hanniel was eating, and I was so happy. Oh my God. After fighting for like 3 months, the baby was eating. We were not choking. She was not kicking back. She was not fighting me. I will tell you the truth. It was like, I don't know what word to use to express how I felt, but I was so excited. So, I started, you know, we kept on and on and on. When I bring the food, I'll count the hours. Okay, another thing I did was that I started counting the hours. This is the mistake we make. Sometimes we don't count the hours. We forget that the stomach of our babies are very, very, very small. See, if you get to see the picture of your baby's stomach at that age, I'm telling you will laugh. It's very small. And then sometimes we try to pass in a big bowl of pap when the baby's stomach is very, very, very little. So again, I researched on that, and I got to know that her stomach was not as big as I thought it was. Another thing I did was I got to know the time to feed her, the time to space. I was no longer feeding her before she got hungry. So I'll count the hours, and then by the time I bring the food, she's already hungry enough to want to eat. So the fight reduced. It was amazing. So these things I did. Number one was that I stopped holding her tight. Number two was that I started giving her her own spoon and letting her move freely. And number three was I would play educational children videos on the tablet and let her watch, and she was always excited. And then number four is that I started counting the hours and knowing when to feed her, so I don't feed her before she gets hungry. I don't want this video to be too long, but these are basically the things that I did together with the prayer, and God did it for me. It was amazing. God did it for me. And then Hanniel started eating. So I want to encourage a mother out there. You might be experiencing deep struggle with your baby, and you're wondering, now so you go to be. You might be experiencing this, and then it's taking a toll. It's taking a toll on your mental well-being. Because as a mother, you cannot just be relaxed while your baby is not eating. So I totally get you. I understand you. But I want to encourage you. Don't give up. Don't lose your patience. Ask God for help. Pray. As mothers, we must learn to get into a habit of prayer. Pray for everything. Pray for anything. Pray in advance. Pray for your baby. Your baby is about to clock 6 months. I decree you will eat. Speak to the child. Do you understand? So pray for every and anything. Whatever it is that is giving you a concern, I encourage you to pray. I did it and it worked for me. And I believe that if you do this, it will work for you. Feeding a baby after 6 months of exclusive feeding is not easy. I encourage you to be patient with your baby. I encourage you to ask God for help, and God will definitely come through for you, and everything will be fine. May God help you. I'm going to keep sharing more tips on motherhood journey, and as God will help us, everything will be fine. I don't want this video to be too long, but I hope that this has in one way or the other encouraged you and given you hope. So I would like to get your response when you try this. I'd like to get your response in the comment section. Please, I encourage you to share your frustrations, your experiences, so that me and other mothers can learn also. May God help us all. I encourage you to stay happy. Stay happy. Stay positive. Everything will be fine. Everything will be all right. God bless you. You are doing an amazing job. You are an amazing mother. Don't ever look down on yourself or look down on what it is you're doing. I hope that this video would get to one or two persons out there and be a blessing to one person. God bless you. Have a great day. Cheers, and I love you so much.